Hey, what's up, Influence peeps? It's me, Coldsnap here. This episode, we're speaking to one of Influence's big brain players, somebody who's made really great and thoughtful contributions to the community over the past few months. None other than First Alliance's Cologan. Hope you guys enjoy the chat. So, Cologan, you are, to me anyway, quite an influential player because you created the spreadsheet that everyone uses to hack their ships. Are you cognizant that this is so widely used?
To an extent, yeah. It's pretty. I'm a little surprised, to be honest, because it is a bit of a messy spreadsheet, or at least it was. A big shout out to Big E, another first member who cleaned up some of the formula in there by quite a bit. I've been adding on to it here and there. It's basically a tool I built for myself. But Eve asked me at some point to share it, and I thought, "Meh, why not? If people want to use it, they can."
And they do. Yeah.
Uh,
Speaking for myself, I use this almost every day, so
Nice.
appreciated.
So home is Drake. It's actually, if you want, I can show you in the game.
Yeah, let's do it.
It's 13331. It's a CMS, 214 lots. Let's hide that pile of shame there. Um, yeah, I got it actually from another first member. I traded it with Star Wars Freak. We identified it very early on as a location for me to go, so I can develop it. Um, and I basically
What made you guys choose this rock specifically?
well, it's spectral in its size, really. Like I would say now that I've been on it for quite a while, as you can see, there's still a lot of building to be done, but this is probably going to be 60-70% of its development, at least in pre-discovery. It's quite a good size for a solo player, I would say.
Mm.
It obviously the scope of what a solo player can achieve is highly independent. How much you want to get into the game, or how much you want to turn it into an actual money source. For me, there's a few. There were a few reasons. Its location. It's a decent position for a few other asteroids. Um, so it's pretty much right in the middle of the main ring, right in the mid rings. I get pretty good transfers with other CMSs. I have very regular transfers with I types, and I've been trading a surprising amount. Like I thought I would just turn into a hermit on that rock, and well, to a little bit that's true because I'm mostly trading raws, although I have been working out a trade agreement for modules to kickstart the next development phase on Drake. But yeah, a lot of trading's been going on. And Drake is very fun. It's like kind of the right amount of challenge for me. It's missing a few things, but it's got good feldspar for its size. It's got trollites. It's got most of the important things that's important for a CMS. So it's quite fun, and it's mine, and that makes it even better.
Or the
Um,
resources that it's been missing, has that been particularly problematic, or have you found workarounds?
um, yeah, so there are workarounds. I am present on two other rocks, Greytower and Turing. Both also owned by Star Wars Freak, so I'm cooperating quite a bit with them. Greytower is actually a pretty big, well-developed CIS. And what I can show you. Um, I have a pretty limited scope on there deliberately. Basically, the idea is to supply just the I types I need from Greytower. And the other rock I'm operating on, it's owned by Star Wars. I'm basically renting it from him.
Mm.
or rather developing it, is Turing, also a pretty big CMS. Um, and the nice thing about Turing and Drake is due to their orbital positions, they are always in range of each other. You
Mm.
can always well, no, at least the next 3 years, as far as we've plotted. Um, they have always a transfer available to them, and the really nice thing is they cancel out each other's missing resources. So that's one way, basically supplying myself from other rocks, but the other way is just trading a lot. I've enjoyed really trading, especially with first members. That's mostly due to um, knowing who to talk to. So I'm really hoping we'll get a tool uh, that kind of gives us the utility of knowing, okay, so this rock next to me that I have a day
Mm.
transfer is open for trading, because not every rock has a marketplace. Not every rock should have a marketplace. But that doesn't mean we can't do peer-to-peer. But for that, we kind of need to get into the communication. So
Mm.
that's why it's only first. I'm open to trade with anybody. But yeah, trading, big second step. And then the third step, base abundance mining, bit slow, doable with certain resources. I have made enough stainless because I am on base abundance only for Reptite. I have made enough stainless for um, prop mods, and I've been working up a stockpile to make my own modules. But obviously, I'm not exporting any of that. Turing,
Mm.
luckily, plenty of Reptite, so it fills that niche.
So what's next for Drake?
So the next for Drake is pretty much already visible. I've already plotted out all the build sites. This is about the max my current crew can handle. So it's these 4 crews. I will likely expand this by 1 more mining crew and 1 more refining crew, and that refining crew is probably going to be 4 engineers, 1 scientists.
Mm.
They will be specifically on carbon monoxide duty, because I'm one of those proponents that don't throw away carbon monoxide.
You process all of the CO that you get.
I've not thrown away anything yet, and I don't plan to. And that's why I'm going. Well, obviously you can't say, but I have like in total 8 refineries planned for Drake. With that extra crew, I'll probably add another 8, so I'll be up to 16 refineries. 4 shipyards, 2 factories, 2 bioreactors, 8 refineries. That's the current step. And then 16 extractors. And then the step after would be another 8 extractors and then another 8 refineries. And then go from there. But that's like the foreseeable future. That's what I'm specifically trading towards, getting motors, getting computers, to build that out.
8 extractors per mining crew.
Yeah. Yeah. I I think I rather have crews busy all the time than buildings busy all the time. Because obviously you need to make you need to create the core samples. So
Mm.
if you really want to be super efficient, you're probably looking more at a 7.5 extractors. So you need 15 extractors per two crews, but just have the extra extractor. It doesn't hurt, especially I would assume with maintenance when buildings are down for repair when that comes in. But maybe I'm looking the wrong way. Maybe we want less buildings with maintenance. So
Huh. Are you extracting like 100% of the sample in the spirit of keeping the crew busy?
most most of the time. So I, instead of having like extractors idle because I don't need their resources, I will, when I have enough of a resource, say I have enough um Tainite. Tainite is a good example right now. I will not stop extracting. I just go for 100% and then
Mm.
start cleaning up old core samples. This might not be the most building efficient or crew time efficient, but I do think it's the most human time efficient. It's something that I can be quite ranty about. I'll keep it short. I've played EVE Online. I've won EVE Online, meaning I got burnout from that game. Um, so I'm very aware of keeping the game firmly in the fun section and not the burnout section of time consumption.
You're having fun at the moment with the game?
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
So I've kind of been very slowly, like it is very much a snail's race, working towards making scratch build ships, meaning everything, every step of the way is refined by myself,
Yep.
built by myself. Specifically, talk to Etherway about it because and this is a secondary thing. Etherway has a challenge out there for whoever builds the first properly scratch build ship. I should get to a point where I can finally build the hulls, and I am also slowly getting to the point where I can build modules independently. What I'm currently in the process of doing on Drake is actually counterintuitive. I'm specifically deleting sulfur dioxide on Drake by
Mm.
turning it into aluminium to sell that because it's not scratch made. Basically, I want to cleanse Drake of anything non-scratch made. So I'm consuming all the imported I types that I have not mined myself. I have 1.5k SO2 available that I mined myself. I have another 1.5k on the way, and there should be another 3k following soon, and that will be like my seed stockpile to make more with Trollite. So at that point, I can say I don't need to worry about anything. Like all the raws I have on Drake are scratch mined, so I don't need to keep track of it because I can be certain I like sold everything that I imported.
Yep. That makes sense. Okay. Any plans for expansion beyond the current rocks that you're developing?
So I have plans for developing Turing further, but that's not beyond um, the current rocks. Probably not at the moment because I have quite a bit of space left to fill. I've noticed it like 3 rocks will probably get plenty busy. So not really, no. Expanding Turing for sure. Um, expanding Drake further. Doing a lot of trading, but not anything permanent on other rocks currently.
Mm.
There is one exception. It's been quite fun, that's why I'm mentioning it. I have a solo trader on left on AP, and I keep him busy by just mining calcite and bitumen, which is obviously quite silly, but he's already earned me 3 groundbreakings, so maybe it's not that silly. I have a few buildings on AP. I think I have I've got like 4 extractors. They cover all 8 C-type resources, and I've loaned out 2 of them, and the other 2 are just mining away extremely slowly, 100% extractions, but it doesn't have a lot to do besides trading every now and then, so why not?
And you've netted almost 100k away
Yeah,
from that already.
yeah. He paid for the lot leases, so.
You mentioned aluminium. Is that your main source of income at the moment?
So I've been right now. I have made money from um all the trading I've done so far, but asteroid to asteroid has been bartering, so I haven't made any money on that. My
Hmm.
actual income source is events because I get a lot of them. I'm not sure if I'm lucky or if everybody's getting. I'm pretty sure I get like one a day.
I
Uh,
would be the same. Yeah, I'm getting
mm,
groundbreaking a lot, keep them
yeah.
separated a lot. Most of my
Only
ships seem to
gotten
get
one cake as half truth.
I've never had
Not
that.
where does that trigger? I'm not even sure what that is. I think it might be a bioreactor one, which would explain it because I use the bioreactor very little. I basically all the food I brought, I'm still chewing through it. I will have to get started on plastics soon, so I'll keep an eye on that.
I think most of the ships that I launched from AP have received always leave a note.
Yep.
Is that the case for you?
Not all, but at least half.
Yeah. Well, that's very unique. Are you? I presume then that are you down or up on your initial way that
Oh,
you received?
so I started, let me think. So I bought most of my crewmates with Sway.
Hmm.
I put, how much did I put into the game? I basically put my Doge gambling money, which was like $200 into influence. So I guess that's what I am at. I guess I would be at a loss then because I can't cash it out. It's turned into crewmates. I did get a pretty nice pre-testing reward, so that funded um, most of my purchases. Um, Drake is also included in that price tag. I've not cashed anything out. I don't really intend to at the moment anyways, because I'm treating the game very much as a game, not as a money-making source. I'm not saying it can't be. I do think it can. Personally, I think it's too early for everybody to think like that. Um, there's not enough buyers. The community is still fairly small, so if too many people want to make money, they're just basically all, yeah, I don't know. It becomes a tug of war, but the rope is tied to a pole in the middle, basically.
Yeah.
Um, so I have no real expectations of making money. I have the expectation of not having to pay into the like spend any more money on it. I'm pretty certain I won't have to. I like to be currency poor, asset rich, and I've turned quite a bit. I have quite a few more crewmates than I started with, so I would say that's my asset richness.
What do you think the biggest gaps are in the game right now?
Biggest gaps in the game right now. Sometimes a bit hard for me to think about that because the game for me is in a quite good state, but I recognize that I'm a bit of a particular gamer. I think for the health of the game, we definitely need even better onboarding. I know the team has been really going hard at it, so I'm not too afraid that it's not going to improve. The game has a bit of an uphill battle by basically combining two niches, crypto and hardcore realistic Newtonian sci-fi space industry. It's like the Venn diagram of available player base isn't that big, but I think it's big enough for the game to really thrive. And if well, UG talked about it a bit themselves. They about a quarter of the people they actually get to start the game actually sticks. So if they can improve that rate, then we will actually get into a player positive weekly
Hmm.
count. And with a little bit luck, there's going to be a bit of a snowball effect there. And yeah, we get to rates where the community is big enough that there is a proper healthy economy. Right now, I think the economy is there, but it's very volatile due to um, low participant count. So yeah, I would say that's probably the most important thing that, and UG is working on that, so perfect. Um, as for how I want the game to go, like the discussions I've had with Proto, Eve, other community members for Discovery have been really fun. I can't wait. It's gonna be amazing. I love how dedicated UG is to real hard science. It's gonna be great. Like there's a lot on the horizon. So I would say if I'm a fresh player, I join the game, I buy a starter pack, and I don't reach out to get help and just play based on the tutorials, I'll probably have not an optimal start. And that's not the fault of the tutorials. That's kind of the nature of games like these. Tutorials can only prepare you so much. So I think a core a core value that a player needs to bring to really thrive in this game is curiosity and the ability to reach out. Basically, join the Discord, talk to people, ask them, tell somebody, what is your plan? I want to go to my rock. Can I just buy my rock and go there right now? And then you're gonna get bombarded with hell no, you're missing this and this and this and this. But if you don't do that, you're gonna just crash into a wall basically. So in that sense, I guess what we need is either just a pipeline straight to Discord, but not everybody wants to do that. So I guess more lower the barrier to communicate with other players. There's a few games that have guide systems. Star Citizen actually does that. I'm an active guide there, where you can just say, "Hey, I'm new here. I want to talk to a real person," and they get assigned to you, and then you are meant to ask them whatever you want, and they are meant to answer every question you have about the game. That might be good. Alliances do that in a big way, but not everybody wants to join an alliance. That will capture quite a few people that just want to play, but they might not know how complex this game really is. I kind of was prepared. Like, game has a lot of similarities in EVE Online with especially the learning curve. I don't know if you've ever seen the
Mm.
EVE learning curve, which is the uh, pit of death. But yeah, how do you get people past that cliff? That's like the most important bit.
And what are you looking forward to the most from what you know of the roadmap for the game? Conflict, discovery. Oh, you said discovery already. You're looking
Hmm.
forward to that.
Yeah, discovery for sure, because I think the team has like some really ambitious goals. From discussions we've had on Discord, I think research is going to be really interesting, especially with the prospect that and this was just kind of the direction that I felt the discussion was going. This is not how it has to go, but I had the feeling that research is, if you like really hone in on an area of research, you will have an advantage in that particular field, because research is going to be expansive enough that it's not just oh, I do the tech tree and in 3 months I have everything unlocked. It's meant to be essentially indefinite.
Mm.
Um, So that's going to be really interesting. So I already have kind of my lore reason why I will focus on a certain tech area when that comes out. Conflict, I certainly don't mind it. I like PvP. I'm a bit less excited for it, will admit, not in a bad way. It's just that Discovery just really ticks all my boxes. Especially with ship modularity being a thing, more engine types being a thing, discussions about booster buildings that can improve neighboring buildings being a thing, mega engineering like space stations, like all of that is just really gonna keep us busy. I think like Discovery is like really going to push the game past being just a really good um, spin on Factorio and trade simulators. So one idea I really liked is having gear for your crewmates, which would impact their visuals. So what if that mask that half the Arvats had actually does something? That could be really interesting. I would assume that ship modularity will entail that the looks of ships will change. So if you have like the example that was given is the heavy transport is made up of a lot of cargo modules, and
Yeah.
it's not random that those are called modules. You're meant to be able to swap them in for maybe missile pods, who knows? So maybe like the heavy transport just turns into a crazy missile cruiser or something. So I would assume that that has a visual impact. And maybe at this point we just have another box to put a skin in that's probably a real NFT because we are already on Web3. Why wouldn't you?
Are you not on 104? Are you?
No, I want to trade with 104. That's part of the reason why I've been scraping together stainless and aluminum on Drake and Turing respectively. But nothing permanent planned there yet.
Yeah, yeah. Have you been talking to anyone about trade opportunities? Yeah, on 104?
Yeah, I've talked with Thunder a while ago. He seems to be very eager to get people importing, like because Turing, I believe 104 is also short on Rabdite, so he's very eager for people to import stainless, or specifically ferrochromium would make the most sense because you have good trollite and steel on 104. So that would probably be my first shipment, just 2 kilotons of ferrochromium.
All right. Comes to fruition. I need to get Thunder on this
Oh yeah, for sure.
broadcast. All right, Cologan, thanks so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you. It was fun. I hope I didn't blabber on too long.
No, no, no.